Okay, and then we have my UDL lesson plan. And I'm using the example from my children's literature plan because I already had that lesson plan on hand and it went in pretty well with this. So for this, their standards are analyze and cite examples of how the author's choice of words, conventions combine to create mood, shaping, meaning, and emphasize aspects of a character or setting. So that kind of ties back to what I was talking about when they're writing in their reflective journal. They're trying to understand melody, understand why she's saying things, understand what she's saying is important and how it affects her, and then engage in a whole and small group reading with purpose and understanding. And that's another thing that we did. We were reading the book together, but also students who have auditory processing or maybe visual and auditory together processing issues, they would also be given laptops with a book on it and some headphones if that helps them. But I would still consider that whole and small group reading because they're still reading it in a group with us. So first up, we have Emily. So Emily was born with spina bifida, which is a birth defect that occurs when the spine and spinal cord don't form properly. It is a type of neural tube effect. The neural tube is the structure in a developing embryo that eventually becomes the baby's brain, spinal cord, and the tissue that encloses them together. And that's from the Mayo Clinic. Emily struggles with low self esteem and confidence in her ability to connect with peers. And we see this a lot with kids who are born with spina bifida. She is bright and a great student, but when put in a group or asked to share with the class, she sets down and doesn't perform to the best of her abilities. She also has trouble making decisions and organizing her thoughts. So this organizing her thoughts, which obviously I'm going to focus on all of it, but organizing the thoughts is one of the big ones that I think this lesson could help her with if I do the right thing. So then next we have Bootsy, and Bootsy has opposition. I know the name's funny, but I just thought it was cute. My friend's name is Bootsy, and I just thought it was cute. So Bootsy has oppositional defiant disorder, and ODD is defined as a disorder in a child marked by defiant and disobedient behavior towards authority figures. Now, I did a presentation on this for my case study, and I will remind everybody that oppositional defiant kids are not bad kids. They don't mean to do this. Their brains are like this, and they are not doing it on purpose or because they hate you. They are doing it because their brain tells them they have to. Okay, so Bootsy has little control over her emotions. It is very hard for her to follow instructions or to receive corrections. She can become very upset and consequently volatile when confronted by teachers or administrators. She's also unwilling to complete most assignments and requires a lot of motivation. So I will reference this, but students like Bootsy require a lot of choices because they never want to feel like they're getting forced to do something or getting told to do something by an authority figure. So even though you know that you want them to do something and you know you're making they don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. They need to think that they have got the choice and the autonomy to do what they want with the lesson. So then we have Albert, and Albert has ADHD, a classic. ADHD is a chronic condition that includes a combination of persistent problems such as difficulty sustaining attention, hyperactivity, and impulse behavior. Now, Albert doesn't have as much of this impulse issue, but he does have a lot of hyperactivity, and because of that, he has trouble paying attention because he's so focused on how uncomfortable he is in the chair or how much he wants to get up or just how antsy he is. So Albert doesn't like sitting in his seat and struggles to do so more than 10 minutes at a time. He's the class clown and has close relationships with all of his peers, however, struggles to get his schoolwork done and can sometimes become overwhelmed with tasks and gives up. So, what do we do for them? So, for Emily, she was our spina bifida case study student who had trouble with organizing her thoughts and also kind of struggles with confidence and like knowing what to say and like how to say it and like feeling like she can't perform like her other peers. So Emily will be given flashcards to organize her thoughts, to share when put in groups to discuss the book. And this will help her feel more confident when sharing and also help her practice what to say and when. Having Emily practice speaking in a group setting not only helps her understand the book better, but also helps her gain confidence in the area of talking to her peers. Albert will be given the option to sit on the floor while he writes in his reflective journal, which I said just it's not just Albert, like the whole class. Like I'll say, like, okay, guys, move around the room and write your response. And like this is like helpful for all the kids because like what kid wants to sit in their seat for like 2 hours, like nobody. So like, but this is especially helpful for Albert because like this is like not just like a being bored issue. This is like him being able to like function and like be comfortable and get his work done and sustain focus. So he will be placed in groups that will require him to get out of his seat and change his setting while he discusses about the book. So like when we do turn in talks, like I'll be like, hey Albert, come over here and talk to Jesse over here across the room. And that just kind of gets him up and moving. And then he's like, okay, like cool, I'm in a new spot. And then also then I'm like, all right, Albert, head back to the seat. So this should distract him from his hyperactivity. I said that, but kind of like soothe it, like he's active, like maybe not like bouncing off the walls, but like he's getting up and moving, like he's not sitting in one seat for like too long, and allows him to participate without him being uncomfortable or distracted. So Bootsy will be given options for what she wants to write about in her journal. She will be reminded that it is up to her what she wants to write about. So this is important because I think a lot of kids feel this way. It's not just ODD kids, but when you give them a prompt, they don't know what to write. So just say, write how you felt about the book. That's so open ended. That's so open ended, and it's and for Bootsy, I would even say like you can write whatever you want to write about what we just read. That's so many options. That's not me telling her what to do. That's like me being like, hey, you do whatever you want to do. And then Bootsy's like, okay, great, I'll do it. I mean, that's kind of like wishful thinking, but like she will do what she wants to do. Um, she will be encouraged, but not forced to share her thoughts writing. So she doesn't have to, like, I'm not going to say, hey, Bootsy, share with the class what you just wrote. I'm never going to call her out. I never will call out any student like that because I don't think that's like fair. But this will hopefully make her feel as though she has some autonomy and cause less conflict during the lesson, which is the goal. So then these are my resources. Thank you for watching my presentation.